So, I hear you're a pretty good guitar player.
Well, I started out here. There was a music store here, Chenoweth and Green Music Company, and Mr. Chenoweth, I remember when I was a youngster, is this big towering giant guy. Oh no, wait, that was Mr. Green, and Mr. Chenoweth is very small, and it seemed like a good blend. Anyway, I started teaching at their store, and after a while, and then I started playing around in clubs, and then I went to Phillips for a while, and then I went away to music school. Then I ran away to California and got discovered.
When you went to Phillips, did you study with Professor that you're playing with tonight?
Oh,
What's his
Ulrich,
name?
yes.
Professor Ulrich?
That was probably the single man who would have the most effect on me in my academic training was Gene Ulrich. For some lucky reason, he was here from the Eastman School of Music. He studied composition there and modern music. And I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but he kind of took me and showed me where my curiosities leaned. He would open a door. And so I would go into that door and study, and then come back to him with questions. And I ended up taking piano with him, and ear training, and sight singing, and form and analysis, and composition lessons. In fact, once I remember having to quit the music core requirement because I wanted to study so much with this man. So it's really fun to work with him again. Now, since I've been in California about 4 years, making records in my own studio, I got a tape from Gene, and they were piano solos of him playing his arrangements, modern arrangements of Christmas carols. And I just fell in love with them. And so I brought him out to California, and we're making a record together now.
Oh,
so our original relationship was as student teacher, and then we became more friends, and now I'm his producer. And I still learn lots from him.
When you left Phillips, you went to a music repertory?
Mm-hmm. Peabody School of Music in Baltimore.
Baltimore.
There I studied classical guitar, composition, theory, and a lot of electronic music. It was there where I really became interested in electronic music.
What is New Age music? Is that something you developed?
Well, I
Something you
had
came
a
up with?
lot of guitar solos that were just sort of floating around. You know, when I would play at bars, I would play cover tunes, by the Beatles or Neil Young or whoever, whatever pop tune I wanted to interpret. But then I would sneak in my own original material. So I was doing the same thing in California, and in the audience was a producer, or actually the founder of a record company called Windham Hill. And they were mostly marketing and having great success with producing records of usually just one instrument, playing very intimate, original music. And so I fit right into this. And they said, come do this with us. And I said, fine, I'm ready to make a record. But that whole genre of Windham Hill, the whole catalog became known as New Age music. And so it's just something that kind of happened to me that's been very commercially, almost indispensable in the beginning, because the artists which were already established on Windham Hill would take me out as an opening act, and then I would get lots of exposure. But it was mostly under the guise of New Age music. Now, I don't know whether that's what I am or not, but that's certainly what the label has been referred to as.
What possessed you to change to sing?
Well, I never did change. I was always singing, but I was usually letting my partner, Don Record, who was in town here, do all the singing. And then when I moved away and he moved away, I started relying on it more. So I never felt it was a change. It was just always something that I did, but not in the realm of this label that I got into.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty soon I had all these songs which were backlogged, and I was saying, gee, I got all these songs, so do you like them? The record company said, sure, we like these, but they're not exactly Windham Hill. Let's get a subsidiary label. So they started Open Air Records, and that's what my vocal record came out as, which is the one I gave you to listen to.
Yeah,
so the Open Air Records kind of became a vehicle for my vocal stuff, and now we're distributed by A&M Records, which is a fairly major label, and they're interested in my vocals, so they're interested in promoting me as a singer as well.
I liked your tape. What do you draw from to write your songs? Because a lot of them, it seem like there are really a lot of depth to them, or a lot of stories.
Well, I guess the root of it would be in Joni Mitchell. She's was always my favorite. Joni Mitchell and Neil Young and that kind of California singer-songwriter group of people were who I modeled my first solos after. And they're a lot of them are pretty introspective, which orients me toward that. But lately I've been working more towards lighter stuff, more accessible stuff that people can relate to directly, which I don't think means it has to be more simple. It's more direct.
Do you do any videos?
I've worked some in video, but I see so many pop videos where the characterizations they seem so put on lots of times with musical artists. I decided my first videos should be just me playing. I wouldn't have to worry about anything. Just turn the camera on, get some good shots, and it would be a performance video. But as time goes on and I see where some of my feelers are going, I would like to be able to act some, and I would like to be able to make some kind of video where I'm indeed acting.
Back to your guitar playing, you were voted the #1 guitar player, steel guitar player in the world.
Steel string acoustic, right. There's lots of different categorizations, there's so many different ways to play guitar. And I play the steel string guitar, which is your normal guitar. You see the country music singer, strumming like. Well, Willie Nelson plays a nylon string, so if you know the differences between the sound and the strings of Nelson's guitar are nylon. They have kind of a mellow sound like a classical guitar. My guitar is more of the kind you hear strummed, and that's I approach it in lots of different ways that people think are different. I wouldn't call myself the best, it's not really a competition. It's just, I think that since I'm an innovator of different ways to play the instrument, that it has come to the attention of a lot of people.
Does your complexity of your music come any from Professor Ulrich?
I think that his influence was mostly on just being receptive to my needs, and being a good teacher oftentimes I think is recognizing a student's interests and guiding them. And so it wasn't like he said, this is this and this is this. It's that he says, well, you like this, maybe you should go read this, and come back to me, and I'll see if I agree with what you've done, or if I don't, I'll tell you what what you might do to make yourself like it better. So he was more of a somebody who shows you the road and gives you good precautions.
Do you do more than just play the guitar? What all do you play?
I play keyboards. I play keyboard instruments. I have lots of synthesizers in my studio. I play the flute. I majored in flute for a few years here at Phillips. I sing. And most recently I've been starting to produce, which means I'll have someone in the studio and they will play me their song, and I'll say, well, maybe it needs this, this, and this. And I'll call up this person, or maybe I know how to play something, some horn part or some synthesizer thing, and I'll get ideas to make the music more like the artist really wants it.
Do you like getting into producing
Yeah,
more?
it's kind of like being a conductor, because you choose the instruments and you kind of put things all together. Yeah, it's really fun. I don't want to just do one thing. I like doing a number of different things because they seem to help each other. If it's all in music, you know, like if you're needing to develop more of your sense of melody, your heart, your melody, it's very good to study flute because it's all melody, and it's very good to study voice. But if you're more into harmony, if you're into more of the organization of how notes come together, then it would be to your advantage probably to study some piano where you can get 10 good notes in at once, or guitar where you can get 6. So I find that these things help each other, especially in production.
That's pretty much it, unless there's something that you want to tell everybody this is going to be in your hometown.
I don't know, when is this going to be aired?
Probably in about a week.
In a week? Well, hope you enjoyed this show, those of you who came, and I enjoy coming to Enid all the time. I just wish I could spend more time here.
Good. Michael Hedges.